Yo, what's up guys? I'm coming back at you with another Dokkan Battle video, and we finna get into who you should pick up with your special Dragonstone for the Super Dragon Ball Heroes crossover version. Now, you see here, we have basically all of the units up until the year before last year's so like 2 years ago. Yeah, it had to have been like 2 years ago. All the way up to the full powers limit breaker Super Saiyan 4s. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and go through each one of these characters and who I personally think would be the most viable for right now and not the foreseeable future, just because this is the last celebration of Heroes we're having, so we don't know when these newer batch of characters are going to get their EZAs. Like anything after Xeno Trunks, like we don't know when these guys are going to get their EZAs. Like as of now, it's just kind of like into the Aether, one of the two. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to let you guys know who I personally think you should pick up for right now. So let's get into it. So when it comes to the two Xenos Super Saiyan 4s, as of now, they're not really worth anything except for just like placeholders, you know. I think these two, they were pretty decent on their initial release, but they don't really do anything. Especially this guy, like they don't really do anything except for just attack. Like they're not providing any real utility. So when it comes to these guys, I wouldn't pick them up. I mean, if you don't have the unit and just get like a copy, then fine, but I wouldn't really waste a stone on either of these two. Same thing with Hearts. Like he's not really that good. I mean, he's a like, is this guy a 200% leader? So yeah, they made him a 200% leader. I feel like when he gets his EZA, he'll be a good villain lead. But as of now, he himself isn't good enough. I wonder what his sticker effect is going to be like, because like with the cubes and everything, that's going to be pretty tough. I'd hold off on him too. Golden Meta Cooler, he's pretty decent. He could put up some really good numbers. He doesn't really link well with a lot of the other heroes units, which is kind of like crazy. But I mean, you could make a case for him, but personally, I wouldn't pick him up right now. This Janemba, the modified one, he'd be a pretty good pick. Like, you know, he's pretty good. He has some, he has some good defensive capabilities for sure. And I think each time he gets hit, he stacks up to some pretty absurd numbers, especially when he's rainbowed. Like this guy can be pretty absurd right here. Hold on, let me yeah, this Janemba right here, he can get to some absurd numbers. So yeah, I can make a case for this guy picking him up. He'd probably be like one of the last options, but he's still an option. Xeno Trunks, he's pretty good. I mean, he's a straight like attacker, you know, no real defensive capabilities, but for the right now, he's good to have. His EZA, they did him pretty good on his EZA. He's good to have. The Xeno Pan, she doesn't really link well with a lot of the heroes characters, just because she's also like, here, let's pull it up. You know, like the Innocence, More Than Meets the Eye, Battlefield Diva, Patrol. It's like those are 4 crucial units we're kind of missing out on, or crucial links that we're missing out on that could have been, you know, used to link well with the other characters. But she has some good defensive capabilities, I'm not gonna lie. Like she can get some pretty absurd numbers offensively and defensively, so she's not that bad either. Meki Cabra, he's a good unit for an extreme team. He's not heavily restricted, and he can pretty much heal with any kind of orbs. Like when I was using him in some of my videos, like he was actually like really like putting the hurt on him, and he's not like restricted really. Like look at his passive skill, he's not restricted to any teams, so you could run him on like pretty much any villain team you want. or at least any team that makes sense, really. Like, let's see, let's look at his categories. You run him on demonic power, terrifying conquerors, crossover, heroes. You know what I mean? So he's a pretty good unit, especially after his EZA. Now, when we get to these characters below, starting from the Supreme Kai of Time, I wouldn't even really bother. Like, so from Supreme Kai of Time to I'd probably say to Great Saiyaman 3, don't even bother with these units. They're just not even like relevant anymore. Even after the EZAs. You can make a case for the Super Saiyan 3. Like, he's a good defensive unit. I was using him in the Fusion Zamasu fight. Like, after his EZA, let's see. I know he has guard, which really helps. So he reduces damage received by 15% for 3 turns, and then he guards all attacks, plus an additional 50% attack and defense when performing a super. Then he stacks defense up to 100% plus 20%, and reduces damage by 7%. So per Dragon Ball Heroes category ally, like, he could put up some really good defensive numbers. I mean, he's still taking like some damage from like the harder hitting bosses from like, you know, 8th anniversary meta, even some 7th anniversary fights. Like, he's taking some damage, but he's still a pretty good, capable defensive option. This guy right here, I still like him. I still use him. So he'd definitely be one I'd pick up for sure. I think all you really need is just one copy of this guy, and you're set. Because he's not really an attacker. He's more just like for defense. And he has a medium chance of stunning the enemy too, so I definitely pick him up if you're considering it. The Xeno Vegeta, nah, this guy's a loser. You're not missing out on this guy at all. See, look at this. No guard. He's basically the opposite of the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He's just supering, no guard, no defense, just crit attack. He's a fucking loser. So no, don't go for this guy. Don't waste your stones on him. This Supreme Kai of Time. See, she's a capable like support for like Realm of Gods and like crossover, but she can really get clapped up in some of the newer fights. Like, she's not really capable. She's just a floater. Loser. Well, not this guy. He's actually pretty decent. He got his EZA like last year, and I like him. He's pretty decent. Okay, so this is where we get to the bread and butter right here. This Xeno Goku, I definitely pick him up with a stone. If you don't have him or you're close to rainbowing him, pick him up with a stone. Because after his EZA, like, he's runnable. Like, look at this. Attack and defense plus 150%, reduces damage received by 50%, and launches an additional super attack for 1 turn from the character's entry. I mean, they could have just had that for the whole fight, but whatever. Then he's getting an additional attack and defense plus 50% when there's another Goku's Family or Dragon Ball Heroes category ally on the team. Goku's Family category ally is key plus 3 in attack and defense plus 50%, plus an additional 77% attack when performing a super attack, and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack if there's another Dragon Ball Heroes category ally attacking in the same turn, or an extreme class enemy when attacking. Like, bro, he's a good Goku Family buff. And Dragon Ball Heroes. Like, mainly a Goku Family buff. So now that we just got a new blue Goku, like, he's essential for getting those extra stats in. So I definitely pick him up for sure. He's good. Same thing with this Vegeta. He's a Vegeta's Family support buff. He's basically Goku just for, you know, Vegeta's Family. So he's basically the same unit just for Vegeta's Family. So I definitely pick both of them up, because when you have this guy on the team with the Xeno Trunks, like, Xeno Trunks is, I've seen him hit like 22 million attack stats, you know what I mean? So with this guy on the team, like, you're doing damage. Loser. These fusions right here are losers. This Vegito, you could definitely pick him up for sure. He's good. He's good if you're running him with the Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Xeno Vegito. These two are basically like PB and J. You know what I mean? Peanut butter. He's the peanut butter. The Xeno Vegito is the jelly. They go perfect together. And there's a must run. This guy, he's kind of a loser. I'm not gonna lie. So these two, when these two get their easy A's, I'll actually be surprised because they're hitting some pretty like good numbers just off of their like awakenings. See, like their Dokkan awakenings themselves are hitting some pretty good numbers. So I can't wait to see. They might easy A maybe like next year or whenever. Like I said, a lot of these characters now, who knows when they'll easy A? But if I had to predict, hopefully they'll easy A like next year. Same thing with this Gohan. He's good. I like both of the Super Saiyan 4 Bardock and Gohans. A loser, and she's a loser. So, in comparison, the only units I'd really advise for you to pick up are this Gohan if you don't have him, Bardock, Vegito, both of the Xeno supports, the Xeno Super Saiyan supports right here. Maybe this guy if you have everything else you want, but don't make him a priority. Same thing with this guy. Don't make him a priority, but if you have the extra stones, I can pick up a copy. And then pretty much boom, everything else above Supreme Kai Time are pretty capable options. So if you had to ask me personally which ones I'm picking, I mean, majority of these guys I already have rainbowed. Yeah, majority of these guys already have rainbowed. So if I had to pick, I'm gonna do, let's see, I think you only get like 3 Dragon Stones. I'm gonna pick up a copy of this guy. I'm gonna pick up another copy of this guy, another copy of this guy. Then I'm gonna pick up a copy of Hearts. I don't have him rainbowed, but I'm definitely picking up a copy of him because his easy A is probably gonna go crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, you could take all this in if you want, do what you want with this information, but I'm just telling you the best way I would go about it. Because like I said, who knows when these guys are getting their easy A's or how useful they'll be in the next crossover celebration. But they're good to have for the now, and even if you're just a collector, like they're still good to have. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment sections. That's pretty much it for this video. Please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.